sleepyhead. Hello, 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 sleepyhead, 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 sleepyhead. Hello, 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 sleepyhead. Hello, sleepyhead, 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 sleepyhead.
to 2 20-minute videos a week. Now it seems like I put so much into a 30 to, it's usually around 25 to 30 minutes to like an hour lately. So I hope that longer videos help. This prop I'm not really going to try on camera because it is a mini microphone. It even came with its own little mic stand. How cute is that? And it also has a foam windscreen. Or not windscreen, you know what I mean, a pop filter that goes right on top. And I got this to keep in my purse, actually, because there have been times when I've been out in public and I wanted to like record little ASMR sounds or something, and I just had my phone mic, so I thought it would be a fun little thing to keep in my purse or whatever, and I could do a nice lo-fi video with it if that's something you're interested in. Okay. The next prop, I did see someone do this. I did not come up with this, but for the life of me, I cannot remember, and it was a long time ago. It is a slinky. I had a harder time finding a small, singular slinky on Amazon than I found. And the reason I got this is to do this, which I don't even know how it looks. I'm not looking at the viewfinder. I think it might look tingly. So, let's jump to July, which was probably the hardest, one of the hardest months of the last few months. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, probably the hardest month. In the beginning of July, I posted my first behind the scenes video on YouTube. I have been posting them on TikTok for a while now, but I posted my first long behind the scenes video on YouTube, and it got some traction. It was the fastest growing video I've ever had on my channel. But with that came some awful bullies. I know you guys have seen me talking about this already, so I won't harp on it for too long, but as I was editing the video, I noticed that I didn't love the way I looked in it, but I posted expect it to be. And I didn't want other people that were watching the video to compare themselves to me and also read those comments and be hurt by those comments. So I felt it was important that I monitor that comment section and delete the harmful ones. Goodness, I am sorry. There are so many planes flying over today. I have about 10 minutes of plane footage I now have to cut. Anyways, that video eventually slowed down. And I didn't turn the comment section off because there were a lot of people being kind, and I wanted my viewers to see the kind comments, so I took it upon myself to monitor that comment section and just get rid of the toxicity myself. But looking at it every single day messed with me a little bit. That video comment section may or may not be related to the next thing I'm about to tell you. So at the beginning of July as well, a few days after I had posted that video, I went to get a fill on my nails, and I noticed my vision starting to change. I started to see stars a little bit. I was feeling motion sick. I started to get the hot or cold sweats or whatever. My heart rate was rising. My thoughts were going crazy. I was just having an episode of some sort and thought I was going to faint. I asked my nail tech if I could go to the restroom, and I did, and I splashed some cold water in my face. I felt better for a minute, and using any of this on myself, just for the props. This is just a softer latex version of the little earwax thing, and this is also a little earwax spiral thing that you stick in and just twist it to pull out the earwax. I know you guys liked when I did this trigger on the rare triggers, and a lot of people requested an ear cleaning roleplay, so that's on the agenda. And then there's these, which are tweezers, which, how do I use them? Oh, I literally have not used any of this yet. Take the little rubber piece off. Bright light, sorry. We use this to just clean your ears up a little. There's probably warm and cool light on this one too. Yep. So, unfortunately, after that episode, I had an episode just like it every week. 1 to 2 a week, probably, for the whole month of July into the beginning of August. If some of you probably saw my husband and I went on an anniversary trip to Siesta Key, and you know how they say social media is a highlight reel. No, but it was a great vacation, little weekend getaway. It was amazing, but I did have one of these episodes the first night that we went out to dinner, and we had to leave dinner early because I thought I was going to faint, and I was getting the hot sweats and the cold sweats. I don't know what they're called, but I was getting clammy. My eyesight was getting weird. My heart was racing like crazy. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I tried putting ice cubes on my forehead, and that didn't work. It was just so much panic. It's hard to explain, but anyway, I had one of them on our vacation. We started to think maybe I had a blood sugar issue, or maybe my iron. I've always had low iron issues, but I haven't been good about taking my iron, so we thought maybe I was iron deficient. I don't know. We were on vacation though, so we just kind of said we'll figure it out when we get home. And the rest of the trip went well. I don't believe I had any other issues with it, but in the morning I did have the episode. On vacation I had a cup of coffee, and I don't drink caffeine. So we were like, okay, the caffeine probably triggered it. But yeah, my husband had to come save me from Target one day because I was having an episode in Target and had to lay down on the floor in the middle of the toaster aisle because I couldn't see, and my poor husband, it happened probably once or twice a week for the next few weeks. And while we were on our vacation, I did take a pregnancy test, and it was very negative, so we knew it wasn't that, and this probably would not be happening so frequently if I was. Our next prop is a pack of gloves, and it just so happens that they are light purple. I did not, it did help me to pick them, but I wasn't looking for purple gloves. I had, at the beginning of my ASMR journey, I had blue gloves, blue like exam gloves, and they had a nice sound to them, and then those ripped, and I started using a new pair of revitalization, I believe it's called. And I had a meltdown in the doctor's office, and I just said, I can't believe this is panic attacks. I can't believe that panic attacks could do this so severely, and I figured there had to be something off in my body to be able to cause that severe of a episode. So of course we took blood work and checked my thyroid, but I was given a medicine just to use on days when I feel episodes coming. And that has been a game changer, and I don't know if it's because I think knowing that I have this medicine in case I need it gives me peace of mind, because I've been a lot more relaxed even not using it sometimes, you know. So anyways, I wonder how many times I'm gonna say anyways in this video. I went and got my blood work done. I got blood drawn, and a few days later I received my blood work back at home on the couch on a Friday night at like 10 p.m. I love but hate that I can see my blood work before I can talk to my doctor, because I'll see things that concern me and freak me out, and I'll let it take over until I talk to a doctor. So I received my blood work back, and my thyroid hormones were normal, and everything else on was such a faint line that my husband said that's not a positive, but I knew like something in me was telling me that's a positive. So we go to the store and we pick up a bunch of other tests, including the ones that say the word pregnant or not pregnant on it. And I'm going to pull out the next prep. So, these are lightsabers. I already have these, but mine are now a year and a half old because I got them back in May of 2021. And I wanted to try the other colors. There are other colors of lightsabers, lightsaber chopsticks out there that I've seen that I didn't have, even though they're not consistent with the Star Wars lightsaber colors, though. So I ordered these, and what's cool about these is that there may be flashing lights here, I'm not sure. They change color. So it's not, each chop saber is its own color. They are all colors. I want to get I think this is the rainbow. It's supposed to change colors as it goes on. Oh, okay, so this is like the rainbow or something, or white, I'm not sure, but this one is the one where it changes color. There we go. Okay. So we go to the store and get, why is it flashing though is my question. Is it the type of light that it is? Oh no, we may not be able to use these because that is not ideal. When the colors change, it gets really flashy. Let's go back to the white. Okay, so we went to the store and got more tests and came home, and I took the tests in the afternoon, and I know that's not the best time to take the tests, so we didn't really know what to expect. Just as a little background, my husband and I have not been actively trying to get pregnant. We are at the stage of life So, about a week after finding out that we were pregnant, we lost our pregnancy, and it was very early, only about 4.5 weeks. So, since it's a miscarriage before 5 weeks along, it is called a chemical pregnancy. Another word for it is chemical pregnancy. And that was really hard. And I feel guilty for even being upset because I feel weird playing with these while talking about this, but it's helping me keep my mind distracted. I felt really guilty being upset because there are other people dealing with much worse, especially when it comes to pregnancy loss. It was so early. We only had a week for it to set in, which wasn't even really, it hadn't even really set in fully at that point. But, sorry, I had to take a second, but this is actually quite therapeutic for me. We only had a week for it to try to set in that I was pregnant, but in that week we had already made plans for things for the future and started to get excited, and yeah, so it has been hard. My husband has been the best support, but like I said, I feel very guilty for being sad about this because it was so early. Like, this is just comparing to other parents and their situations. This is like nothing, knowing you were pregnant for a week, but it's still hard. And in addition to everything else that had been going on in my life, it was just another thing. So, not that this was a Graves' disease. Those are present because there's Graves' disease present in my body, which is to be expected. So since taking a little bit better care of myself, I have not really had any episodes. I have hardly had to take the medicine that I was given. I've just been feeling a lot better. And opening up about this honestly kind of helps too, because I usually don't get very personal on my ASMR pages. I know that you are here to relax, not to hear about my life. But I thought that since it's just been a really tough couple of months for me, and it has made an impact on my creativity with ASMR, on me creating ASMR, that I figured I owed you an explanation at least over why the last few months have been a little slower. I'm going to move on to the next prop really quick because I've kind of forgotten about that once I started getting a little deeper. And before I do that, anyone else that's going through these things that I've been talking about, I am here with you, and I just, I love you. I want to send you a big hug, and I want to take the opportunity just to talk about the harder stuff so that you may feel like you're not alone. Also, sending just so much love to those out there that are going through so much worse, because I know that you're out there. And I invite you to be open about your experiences if you are comfortable, or if you would like, in the comment section, so you can all see how much we can all relate. I don't know if I will be in this comment section. It's been hard for me over the last few months to look at comment sections in general. I do my best, but sometimes the fear of seeing the negativity makes it harder for me to read them. So I may be in this comment section, I may not, and I'm sorry if I'm not. That just means that it may have been too much for me. Just know that I love you, and I'm going to continue with these two last prompts. I've also had so much anxiousness about just filming this video, even though I'm just talking about my life experience over the last few months. It's just brought me a lot of stress, but I put it all out there. This prop was supposed to be, I've seen a lot of ASMR artists on TikTok. They have this, it looks like a lightsaber, but it changes color, and it doesn't have this at the bottom. It just looks like a stick, like a glow stick, and I haven't been able to find it. I purchased this thinking that it was the same thing, but it's not. It's like for concerts and stuff, but I also feel like I'm part of air traffic control. This one changes color. Oh, look, it's doing the same thing with the flashing. I don't like that. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this yet because it's so thick. Thick boy. It's like got some girth to it. I mean, it's not that big. I'm sorry. Anyway, I can change the color myself, so let's find a color we like. That's a good one. Purple. Yeah, I'm not quite sure yet how I want to use this, especially because it's like flickering in the camera. I don't love that. That's gonna hurt people's eyes. So maybe I can find a color that doesn't do that. Are you joking me? Okay, the red. Oh, the glass to do it, but I don't feel like pulling it out right now and getting it set up. Anyway, it's a, rigid roller, so I just want to roll it on your face. So it'll make a little more sound than the typical roller does. But this set also came with this little face massager, so I'm excited to use this too. Just to wipe your face down a little. Oh, heck yes, it works on